Juan Martinez. We're NAB 2011, and we're at the FS-100 NXCAM Super 35. And this is a new camera that we're introducing at this NAB. And this camera, it has a Super 35 millimeter sensor size, so it provides a beautiful bokeh and depth of field that we all want. But it is constructed from the ground up. The sensor is a SONY CAMERAS sensor. It is designed for motion, so this sensor doesn't have any of the artifacts that are common to DSLR cameras or repackaged DSLR cameras. And the body of the camera is laid out with all the controls that you would expect to see on a camcorder. And these controls are where any professional will be expecting to see them. There's some new functionality to a camera in this kind of price level, such as slow and quick, so it's possible to do under and over cranking. The camera gears in the under and over cranking from 1 frame per second all the way up to 60 frames per second. It can record these signals at 24p, 30p, or 60p. It has an unconventional design. If you look at the camera, it looks kind of boxy. This is based on the input that we had from our customers who wanted to have an F3 style viewfinder. And the camera comes with a viewing tube. And it's possible, one of the things our customers asked for were the ability to stand on the left side of the camera or on the right-hand side of the camera to operate it. And it's even possible to flip the viewfinder, the LCD, as it were a medium format camera. This also allows us to hold the camera over our head and shoot with it in that fashion to get over the head shots, and then you can flip the image in post. As you can see, the camera, everything is detachable. The handle is detachable. This hand grip comes off. So all in all, it can be very small. It has several recording options. It can record to SD cards or memory stick. And it can also record to an FMU 128 that will go in this socket here. The camera ships with a cosmetic cover, but we'd remove it to show this. And it can record up to 10 hours of 1080 60p. We've extended the AVC-HD standard to record all the way up to 28 megabits per second. And at 28 megabits per second, we could record 10 hours. If we're recording at 24p, we can record all the way almost 13 hours, 12 and a half hours. So 28 megabits per second in the AVC-HD format now accommodates 1080 60p or 3D. So the 3D camera also records at 28 megabits per second. So we have 3 new NXCAMs at NAB, and all of them support that, as well as timecode over HDMI. On all these 3 NXCAMs, either the 3D camera, the NXCAM Super 35 or the NX70 can output 1920 by 1080, 422, 8-bit, or RGB 444, 8-bit out of the HDMI, including timecode and pull-down markers. So we're collaborating with the recorder manufacturers so they can take the signal and capture the timecode to the disk. Well, the highest quality onboard recording will be 1080 60p because the way the human eye perceives image fidelity, if you increase the spatial resolution, but in the case of HD, 1920 by 1080 is the maximum. If you increase the temporal resolution by increasing the frame rate, the eye also perceives higher picture quality, so the highest picture quality this camera can output is 1920 by 1080 60p. It is recorded at 28 megabits per second, so 1080 60p is recorded at 28 megabits per second. It's still 8-bit, long up 420. The camera has no 10-bit output because we're taking the signal that we present to the encoder, which is 8-bit. This is not compressed, but we down convert from the high order bit in the processor to 8-bit to present to the encoder, and that is also what is sent out to HDMI. Yes, F3 of course offers 10-bit output, and it also offers dual link and S-Log. So the F3 has more capability than this camera. This is why it's worth more than 3 times the cost of this camera. But both of them have the exact same image sensor, and both of them can produce incredible images. And this camera is virtually noise-free, And it can accept, one of the big advantages of this camera is it can accept, because of the shallow flange depth, it can accept virtually any lens. And so even Leica M rangefinder lenses could be mounted to this camera using the appropriate adapter. So in this case, here we're showing it with an alpha A mount lens. And alpha A mount lenses can be installed on this camera with this adapter. And this is a beautiful 85 millimeter f1.4 car size lens that allows us to capture these beautiful images and defocus and beautiful soft bokeh that people would want to achieve. All of the NXCAM cameras are MPEG-4, so they're all record 8-bit 420 MPEG-4, but I defy you to compare this to 100 megabit per second images and see the difference. So the encoder in MPEG-4 is not determined. There's no recipe. And we have a very high processing capability, so we have a processor with multi-core and very sophisticated algorithms, and we're able to create image quality that is unsurpassable.